Hi guys, welcome to Coding Ambitions. In this video we will learn about adding scroll bars in Compose Multiplatform Web App, right? So let me run this app. This is simple web app. This is the Compose Multiplatform app. So it's running on web as well. If you want to learn about how we did this, so you can check out my previous videos how to add web support in Compose Multiplatform, right? And even before that you can check how to create Compose Multiplatform app. So these two videos, then you will understand how we created this, right? So if you see, okay, so now the question is, if you see, we need to press Control and scroll, then it scrolls, right? As we do in the mobile apps, it's the same way, right? But in the web, it does not look like similar to the original web, because mostly in the web we will be having scroll bars here, right? So how we can add them? Okay, so let's continue with that. For that we need to identify first of all, like if it is the web platform or desktop platform, we need to make few changes according to those, like we will be adding the scroll bars. So let's continue with that. First of all, we need to identify window width or size. So in Jetpack Compose we do that using window size class. Similarly, we have this window size class for multi-platform as well. This library we can use this. Okay, so let's copy this. Okay, so first step, let's add it. Okay, so let's add it in the common main. Okay, cool. Let's sync it. And so this is one thing. And now, so after that, what we need to do is we need to make few changes in platform function as well, right? So for that, what we can do is inside this, maybe we can create some utils here. Okay, so let's say app utils, this class, and then inside this class let's random class platform type. Currently we are just passing the strings there. If you see in these implementations, right, it's just the string. So we'll be updating it so that we can check it, the platform type, right? What is the platform? According to that we can show scroll bars, right? So how many platforms we can have? iOS, desktop, JS maybe, right? Okay, so this one will be for web, right? And similarly, let's add one more thing here. We can name it navigation type. So this will be deciding the type of navigation, like according to the width. Maybe if it is the desktop, it is the mobile, tablet, for that, right? So but usually bottom nav, this thing later on we will be using for adding multi devices, multiple screen support as well for these apps, right? So this will be actually mostly for mobiles. And then we have navrail, mostly for tablets. Then we have permanent nav drawer. So you can assume them according to these, right? For mobile, for tablets, for desktop. So this is for the according to the width of the devices, right? It's not like it will be only in the mobile, but it can also be this true for web. Suppose we have resize the web. Suppose if we resize it like this and make it like very small, as it is as much as small to the mobile device, right? So then also it will be triggered to bottom nav, right? So I named them like this because these we will be using later on for spotting different screen sizes as well, right? That's why I named it according to that, and we will be calculating them according to the uh, window size class, right? Okay, so let's quickly, first of all, in the platform implementation, make the some of the required changes. So here let's say we add desktop, but now platform type dot desktop dot name. Okay, and similarly let's just copy it and we'll be updating it. Compose app, it will be Android and iOS. Let's just remove it, iOS and JS. Okay, because it's a better approach, like using some constants or enums, right? Instead of like using hard coded. Okay, cool. So these are done, and now let's move on to the second part. So first of all, let's move to the root content, right? So inside the root content, so basically we will have to make some changes. So this is being called from all the platforms, right? Whether it's JS, iOS, Android, desktop, right? So here somehow we need to get parameters, scroll bars as parameters, because scroll bars currently are not supported in Android or iOS because they don't make sense for them as well, right? So they only require for desktop and web. So in the implementation as well, in the library that Compose Multiplatform, they are only implemented for web and desktop, right? So let's first of all make few changes here. So let's say lazy list scroll bar. Scroll bars can be of three types. So basically for lazy list it will be lazy list scroll bar, for lazy grid scroll bar, and for simple columns maybe if needed it can be the scroll bar, right? So basically what we need to do is it should provide us a composable function, right? That will be accepting the lazy list state and modifier, right? So basically we will be passing composable here, right? These composable of like scroll bar, right? So for lazy list scroll bar, this variable from there, from the desktop and web, we are passing the uh, same scroll bar, lazy list scroll bar, and similarly lazy grid scroll bar and scroll bar. So these things will be getting it from web and desktop side, and let's make it nullable as well, and its return type is unit. Okay, and similarly lazy grid state, and let's why we are taking it separate one for each one, because their adapters are different. For scroll bar, adapters are different for different kind of lists. Scroll bar, and here what we'll have is scroll state simple. Okay, so these three are done, and now let's first of all make changes. So let me clear this part. Basically why we are getting it as parameter and setting the default value as null, because they will be passed from the platform side, right? And this is the function which is being called from the platform, right? Suppose if you go here and you see this is for web and we are calling it from here. So from here inside this JS main, we will be having the scroll bars available. That's why we are passing it from there, right? For why we have set it to null, because for mobile Android iOS there is no value for them, so that's why they are null already, right? So that they will not be breaking the existing code for them, right? So now let's make Windows size class. So what we need to check is, oops, my bad. First of all, let's calculate Windows size class, right? And then we will be calculating the navigation type. From this we will be applying it according to the width, right? So whenever width will be Windows size compact, it will be the bottleneck, most probably typed about mobiles, right? Then we have medium, I think. Yes, it will be the nav rail. Then we have permanent nav driver, it will be the expanded ones, right? You can check them. So I have a separate video on it as well, how to support different screen size using Jetpack Compose. There I have explained why these classes, what they mean, and how we create these navigation types according to the width, right? So this is experimental Windows API. So else just let's make it default for mobiles, right? And now this part is done. Second thing will be breaking this part. It will look better if we can refactor this. Let's try something new. I don't use this that much. Maybe it will help us creating the function. Yeah, it's cool. It extracted the function, and okay, so let's rename it refactor. Okay. So let's make it app content. Okay, and let's make it composable as well, right? So yeah, the tools are really cool. If you use these shortcuts, they are like making the developers life very easy. Okay, so now if I would have done this, like it would have taken some time. We need to create this method and then copy that code here, then pass parameters, but that extraction tool already created that for us very easily, right? And few more thing we can pass. Maybe let's make it like this. So this is the root component, and then we need navigation type as well. Okay, let's add it first of all here, navigation type, and then all these parameters. Okay, so let's remove it from here. Modifier, mostly we will be adding it in the end. Okay, so these parameters, and so then what we will be doing, yeah, cool. So then again we need to make changes in the list content as well, and we need to get the parameters from here. It will show us suggestions. Yeah, okay, cool. So this part is done. Now next thing will be we need to modify this part, right? Here we need to apply changes according to those parameters, right? So let's just, without wasting our time, copy these things. They are required there. Okay, right, and let's pass them here as well. It will show some suggestions or not. Okay, Yeah, it's showing us. Okay, so currently we'll be adding the scroll bar only on the list screen. So similarly you can add them on the detail screen as well, right? So now that part is done, and so now what we need to do is the same thing. So okay, this is app content, and no doubt, so we can maybe make it so that function is there. If we can make it, let's just refactor it to the app content list, or maybe okay, that's fine, that doesn't matter. You can name it according to your choice, right? So here if you go, it's the app content, right? Or okay, cool. So now what we will be doing is we again need to pass these parameters there as well. We need to forward them to there. Okay, so what we will be doing is we will be passing them before the last callback. Okay, we can remove this one. Okay, so and let's pass them from here. Navigation type, lazy list scroll bar, lazy list grid scroll bar. I think it's done. Okay, it's done. So now what we need to do is, so here we will be making the main changes. So if you observe carefully, now we don't need this box with constraints, because this thing for getting the width of the screen we will be already getting from the navigation type, right? Okay, so let's remove these few things and let's create scroll state here. Remember, so in our case it is lazy grid, so we will be using remember lazy grid. Okay, the Kotlin scope is already created, so let's, yeah, they are already created here. Let's just take them here. So here this max width concept, actually that was here. So what we are doing is we have applied this check earlier. If max width is greater than this, we were changing the number of columns and all that stuff, right? So now we will be changing that logic according to the navigation type, right? If it's navigation type dot navrail, probably, right? So we can give it 3, and suppose modifier, I think we will be using the full width as of now. Just remove this, and permanent nav driver, then on the big screen I think, so we can give it a 4 columns, right? So and then what we need to do is this modifier, we can use that. Actually we don't even need that, because here we already have applied direct modifiers. Okay, so now we need to use one variable. Actually let's create one variable. So when we need to show scroll bars and when we don't, right? Okay, so suppose get platform dot name. So is it platform type dot js name? So either it is js or desktop. In both cases we will be displaying the scroll bars. And one more condition, suppose navigation type is not for mobile, then also we will be displaying the scroll bars. Not for mobile, it means not equal to bottom nav, right? Okay, cool. So this variable now we will be using for this content, right? One more thing now, let's extract it. Okay, and let's again refactor this, introduce maybe. Okay, let's just try function. Okay, so let's name it list UI. Okay, cool. Let's add composable. Okay, cool. So now what we need to do is, yeah, it is experimental. Okay, opt in for experimental. Cool. So now let's do our stuff. If we need to show scroll bars, so let's if not scroll bars, it means the mobile layout. So simply this one which is already there, right? Pretty simple. Else we will be showing the scroll bars for mobile. Most probably for mobile we can say. Web and desktop, right? So here we will be showing the scroll bars, right? So for that let's use one box, and then let's apply the some modifier there, that will be the fill max size, so that box will take up all the available space. Okay, cool. And then let's go to here, and here let's show the list UI products. Let's use the suggestions. Okay, and inside this box we have this content, and now we need to use scroll bars basically. So for that what we'll be doing is, if it's so in the lazy grid, so we are using the lazy grid, so we need to use lazy grid scroll bar, right? If that is not equal to null, because it's nullable, so first of all we need to check. Then let's call that function, so that will provide us the scroll bar. We will be adding these scroll bars after finishing this work, right, in the end. Okay, so now here what we'll need to pass is scroll state, and second thing is, what is the second thing? Yeah, modifier. Let's directly do it for at this time. Alignment dot center end. Okay, so this is for alignment actually, right, where we need to show the scroll bars in the right side, right? So center end for the center point, right? So basically this one was for the box, in the box where we are providing the scroll bars, right, in the center end. Okay, so this part is done. Now let's move back to the root content and passing the scroll bars actually, right? That is the last main point we need to do. So this is, first of all let's go to the web part. So this is for web, right? So here what we need to do for that, inside the JS main, if you go, we need to create one directory scroll bar, right? Okay, and here we will be creating our scroll bars actually. It's better if we can create them inside one single class. It will provide separation of concerns if you know about that. So let's provide these some functions for each type of vertical. So let's give them name main vertical lazy list lazy list scroll bar. Okay, so it will be accepting what? The same parameter. Scroll state will be of type lazy list state and the modifier. Okay, and here what we will be using is let's directly return the vertical scroll bar here. So there what we can do is we can set some padding. Let's set it maybe we can set it in the start and end. Okay, no need to set in the top and bottom, the start and end. Okay, so this is one thing, and second thing we need to do is we need to set a adapter. So that will be the remember scroll adapter, and it will be accepting the scroll state. And okay, so what it's saying is, okay, this is not composable, let's make it composable. Okay, cool. And then even we can pass the style as well, local scrollbar style dot CRUD. We can use the default one, right? Similarly, let's add them for grid and main vertical scroll bar, right? Okay, so this one will be scroll state and this one will be lazy grid state. Fine, and we are good to go. Okay, now let's pass these from JS main. Suppose here it is. Inside the lazy grid we can pass main vertical lazy grid scroll bar. Okay, and it will be accepting two parameters, scroll state comma modifier, right? So we can pass them here. Cool. And now let's do one more thing, add the rest of the scroll bars as well, right? Main vertical lazy list scroll bar, and the finally third one scroll bar main vertical scroll bar, and we are done. Let's try to run it. It's not showing, I think. Okay, let's check it. What can be the issue? Here we go. Somewhere maybe we are missing passing the parameters, I believe. Lazy grid, then going back here and coming here, lazy list, lazy grid. Okay, this one. Then let's again go back, lazy grid, and here also lazy grid. Okay, so we are passing. So let's see where we have made mistake. Maybe something is wrong. Okay, platform name.js. Oh, desktop. So let's just quickly go to the scroll bars if something is missing there. I think we miss this part, scroll bar. We didn't apply that. Okay, so let's use this modifier. It will align them. Okay, let's rerun it. Yeah, it's cool, it's working now. If you see, now we have scroll bars as well. Now it looks really like a website if you see. So if you just go there on hover, it will be like as we have in today's website. So if you see, now we have added the scroll bar. Similarly, suppose here also you can add if needed, right, on the detail. So this one was for the web, and now just quickly we can copy these scroll bars inside the desktop as well, right? And let me quickly copy this as well and go to here and make these changes, and let's run it. Or probably there is another way as well, I will be explaining that. So this is the way, so where we have used the same root content without using the separate root content for desktop, web and mobile, right? We have used the same and modified that with these scroll bars parameters. But this is, I think, not a good idea. Maybe better if we can repeat this thing only. So for this part, if we can just maybe make some changes, we can create them separate for JS, like JS root content for desktop, like desktop root content, and this one, and then this one, and finally the list UI part as well, right? So then if you go here, okay, so here these 2 or 3 parts, so screens will be same, but these few composables we can repeat them. So in the web and desktop it will be like only this, but for mobile there will be no parameters there, right? This will be separate for mobile as well, right? And there we don't need these parameters, so basically they don't belong to mobile, right? So then it will be this separation of concern will be, or like single responsibility will be there, so code will be clean. So we know that for mobile we don't even need them, right? So you can just create these list content, this file, and these content you can create separately for JS, desktop, and common one for mobile. Let's use this common one that is here in the common for Android and iOS, and then for desktop and JS we can create separate ones as well, right? That will make code more clean, right? Because they will be there then belonging to the where they should belong, right? Because they are in the JS and desktop, so scroll bar, these parameters will be only there, right? But apart from this, so everything, if you see, if yeah, till here, so after this now, then the UI part will be the this will be the common, there we don't need to make. So then again the screens will be same, the content will be same, but only few things we need to copy in the JS and desktop as well, right? If you see, yeah, scroll bars are here. If you see, yeah, they're looking cool. So guys, that's it from this video. So we have added this scroll bar support. Now it's looking pretty cool on the web as well properly, right? Before that scroll bars were not there, we needed to scroll like dragging it, right? But that's not the ideal way on the web. So guys, this is all about adding scroll bars in Compose Multiplatform Web and Desktop app, right? I hope you have enjoyed the video, and now you have an idea about how you can do that. If you have enjoyed the video, please like it, please share it, comment on it, and please subscribe as well if you are new. These things motivate me to create more videos on these topics. So I will see you in the upcoming videos with another topic. So till then, bye bye, take care, have a great time, keep coding.